Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to your next English lesson. Today will be another comprehension lesson, and we're going to work on finding the answer in the text today. First of all, I have written a sentence on the board. The cat sat on the floor. It makes perfect sense, but it's not the most exciting of sentences. So what I'd like you to do is try and improve that sentence. Remember all those different ways we've spoken about improving our writing, by adding in those describing words, by changing the action word, by changing the beginning of the sentence, extending the sentence, all those different things you can do to make your writing more creative and more exciting. So pause the video for a minute and see if you can improve this sentence. Well done, Year 3. I have written, late at night, the old cat fell onto the dusty floor. So I've started my sentence in a different way. I've added in some nice describing words. And I've also changed the action word again. Very well done if you did some of those things. Today, we're working on finding the answer in the text. So I'd really like to see you underlining the answers in the text to show me that you found them, you found the correct answer in the correct place. To practice this, I've written just a few sentences on the board. You can pause it and read them to yourself if you like, but I'm going to read them out loud as well. You may just want to follow along with me. There once lived a horrible giant. He lived on top of a mountain. He was very lazy. The giant was so lazy, he needed 7 servants to look after him. I've read that nice and clear. Remember to pause for those full stops. So when you do read your piece of writing, again, make sure you read it nice and carefully and pause for those full stops. Question number 1, where did the giant live? Now I'm going to get a different colour now. I'm going to put a little orange mark there at the start. So I'm going to find the answer in the text and I'm going to underline it in orange. Where did the giant live? You could pause the video for a minute and try and find the answer in the text. I'm just going to find it on here as well. Where did the giant live? He lived on top of a mountain. So I'm just going to underline the answer in the text. And this is what I want to see on your work today, that you've underlined the answer in the correct place. And then I'll need to write my answer. And as I often say, I'd like us to try to write our answer as a sentence, not just 1 or 2 words. Where did the giant live? The giant lived on top of a mountain. So I've used some of the words in the question to help begin my answer, to make sure my answer is clear, and I've written a sentence. The giant lived on top of a mountain. Number 2, I'm going to get a different colour now. And I'm going to underline the answer in a different colour. How many servants did the giant have? How many servants did the giant have? And again, you'll be able to find that answer in the text. He needed 7 servants. So I'm going to underline that answer in the text. He needed 7 servants. And I would write that answer as a full sentence again. The giant had 7 servants, or the giant needed 7 servants. That would be a nice clear sentence. What I'd like you to do today, there are 2 different worksheets. You can choose which one you do. Most of us will be able to do this one about Hans Christian Andersen. Hopefully you can read this text and answer these questions. Or there is one about the Little Red Riding Hood, and it's a brown book from Year 3. If you found this first one a little bit too tricky, you could complete this activity. But whichever one you do, where you can, I would like you to be finding the answers in the text and underlining them in different colours. And then writing your answers, probably on the next page, you'll need a double page. Writing your answers as a full sentence. So answer the questions. If you happen to finish all of that, you could, if you're doing this first sheet, design the front cover for one of Hans Christian Andersen's stories. They are very famous stories. You will know some of them. You could design the front cover, and then the extra lines are to write the blurb, write what that story is about. If you do the second sheet, you could do the same thing. You could design the front cover for this book and write 1 or 2 sentences saying what that story is going to be about. Whenever you read a story, there's always a couple of sentences on the back that say what that story is going to be about. We call that the blurb. So you may be able to do that as well. I will be on Google Meet, so please make sure you come onto Google Meet to check any work and just to check in at the beginning or at some point during the lesson. Thank you for listening today. Well done, Year 3.